Good morning, my little potato chips. It's wee Paddy here from across the shuck. Now, you've seen the title of this video and it's bloomin' odd. And this is from Tobias over at Knife Chats with Tobias. I'll put his video for this. It's an open tag. I'll put it down in the description. Please go and check his out. And please join in if you can. It sounds a weird title, but when you break it down and try to think, it makes sense in your head for a fun video. The knife you're caught dead with, or not caught dead with, is the other part of that question. What two knives, or what knife? I carry two knives, so I'm typically going to put, if you only carry one knife, just put that down. But I tend to carry two knives, a working knife and a show knife. And they don't have either one can be the show knife, slippy or the lockback. I don't carry a lot of lockbacks outside in the UK because it's illegal, but I'll always have a slippy in my pocket. But this is a question: what would you like to be found dead with? I'll not care when I'm dead. So these are the two that if I had a choice to die with in my pocket, this would be the two knives. This is the Charlie Companion SFO. It's the TC Barlow. It's the number 14 version, the Lick Creek. This is just stunning. This is workmanship at its best by GEC. This is one of the best pocket knives I have, full stop, for fit, finish, for just simplistic beauty. There's not flashy colours, there's not flashy bone handles. You know, it's a wooden handle, it's ebony handle. There's nothing flashy, yet it just stands out among the rest for whatever reason. Very hard to get the knife if you haven't got one. I am honoured to have that in my possession. Will never leave. Much the same as this knife here. This is the Chris Reeve Small and Cozy. I like this because it is smaller. It just fits my hand no more, but nonetheless perfectly. With a lanyard at the back. I've done the video on this, so you can go and see the video. Nothing has changed from that video. I love and use this absolutely regular. Do I use this? Very, very lightly. If at all. Very, very lightly. It'll be in a pouch if it's going out, and it's more of a show knife. This is a work knife, and it gets used. I want you to tilt this. I want to try to get you. This is absolutely covered. It doesn't look like, I'm not getting it in knife, but it's covered in snail trails. It's used on a regular basis. Every week this knife is used, probably a couple of days every week, because I love it so much. This is just perfection. So if I'm going to fall down dead, that's the two knives I would love to be in my pocket for my, not status, that's wrong, for the knife community to remember me by it. If somebody in the knife community finds me, they say, good old Paddy, look what he had in his pocket. So there we go. Right, two beautiful knives. The next thing is, what's likely to be in my pocket? And it's not a big change. I'll have a work knife, like I said, and this is in my pocket an awful lot of the time. This is a GEC Boys pattern, number 15. Beautiful, beautiful clip point. This is in micarta, red micarta, linen micarta. It is absolutely beautiful to use as a work knife. The blade's big enough, the knife is sturdy enough. There is no movement in this blade, up, down, any way you like. It's a beautiful work knife. I love it, and I carry that very regularly. So if I die, the chances are it will be a knife, this one or one very like this one, that's been used and abused. The other thing that I carry, that I like to carry, is a bigger knife. Now, this is one, when I'm going out over here in the UK, I carry it because it's UK legal. It's big enough to do any job that I wanted to do, but I will probably always use my little slip joint for any work that I have. If I need to have this, it's there. This is one I bought in honour of my father, so I don't overuse it, but I do carry it because I don't want it to be a showpiece. It is a working knife, and I have used it for work. But always with a working knife with it, which is usually a slippy because I live in the UK. This is the Hinderer XM18 in 20, what do you call it? I can never get it. 20 CV, CPM 20 CV. Marvellous blade steel, will last forever. This 1095 lasts a reasonable long time. Most of my day can get covered by this knife. But it's always nice to have the two, and that's why I carry two most of the time. I like to have that backup. So, there we go. Now, the last and third part of this series is what knife would you not like to be found in your pocket when you're found dead? And I've picked two knives because, well, they stand for things that I really don't like. And one of them's maybe going to shock people, but one that will not shock people is I would hate to be found carrying one of them. I despise them. I think they're flippin' dog ugly. I wouldn't use one. Look, it's a really comfortable knife. Don't get me wrong. This is incredibly comfortable. It's on an axis lock of sorts. But I do not want to be found dead with this in my pocket. I really don't. I don't like. Even when I was cutting up my own carpets in the house, I used my Medford before I would use one of these. Just don't like them. Never have done. But that's me. I don't want to be found dead with that in my pocket. The other one is probably going to be the shock. Is this the Swiss Army knife? Yes, it's a useful knife. I can't deny it's a useful knife. But the one thing that I use in this blade is not a knife blade. I use this awl. That's the thing I use most of all in this knife. That's it. I just, and especially around the caravan, I've been using it quite a lot. But I use the awl. Even when I have to cut something up, I put this down and take a knife out of my pocket. Don't ask me why, but I've never got into this craze with Swiss Army knives. That'll kill Tobias. But they're just not knives. I think this is a second or third. I like the wee small ones that you put in your keychain. They're fine for the toothpick or whatever. I'll carry them. But I just don't carry this. I had a farmer before this. I've gone down to this one. But I don't get it. I don't get the craze. Never have done. And I would hate for somebody to think that this was something that I carry on a regular basis, because I don't. This stays in the house and is used for utility rather than use on my everyday life. I just can't stand them at all. Can't stand them. And I know they've got a purpose, and I know people love them if you're a box opener or something like that. I'm not. I don't do it. I just have wee boxes come with knives in. I don't need this to open them. So there you go. There's my three choices. Tobias, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that was what you wanted. So just to recap, these are my three selections for knives. This is what I would love to be found with, these two. This is what I'll probably be found with, these two. And that's what I never want to be found with. Take care. Great tag, Tobias. Thank you very much. Please join in. All the very best. Paddy's away for a cup of tea. Bye now.